I got some time here waiting outside for a client, and I wanted to talk about what the title says. Now, I'll be real brief, but I got to get off my chest because three separate topics: Tyson Fury, Chris Eubanks Jr., and then this Canelo Alvarez. So real quick, I don't like when I'm sitting down and people could sneak up from behind me, but you can't just go and make fake belts. You can't just be funded by a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate and fight a non-boxer and not expect to have consequences. That's my biggest thing. I don't know if the answer is to strip Fury, but in order for boxing to maintain some sort of relevance, you have to have consequences. Like we spoke about a couple days ago. You win a belt, you have a timer. You have the sand in the hourglass. Flip the hourglass over, and if you don't defend in X amount of time, you get stripped. What's wrong with being stripped? I heard Fury say before that belts don't even matter. He's just looking for paydays. So it's not fair for the heavyweight division. It's not fair for the fans or other boxers. You know what I'm saying? Trying to come up. The last thing we need in the heavyweight division, or the last thing we need in boxing, are more roadblocks. Fighters holding up divisions, stuff like that. Think about what's happening with Zhu and Mendoza. Zhu and Mendoza, this could be controversial. I think Zhu and Mendoza at 154 should be for all the belts, but that's just neither here nor there. Now, that's a segue into, do you guys remember that movie? I don't want to offend anyone here, but it was a movie and a book called The Secret, and it was all about, you could have anything you want. You just have to ask for it. You just have to manifest your destiny. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to put in the hours. Just ask the universe. And if you ask for enough times, you'll get it. That's similar to how I feel this Chris Eubanks Jr. situation has been unfolding. How much can a guy ask for something when the public feels that their resume doesn't deserve it before the public and his fans start looking at him a little bit differently? He went to doing the rounds on the media saying that he deserves the winner of Canelo Charlo, that him and Canelo would be the biggest fight in boxing. It's like, would it be? And if he was sitting right here, I would ask him to sell me on it. Just from a neutral perspective, sell me on why Canelo versus Eubanks Jr. would be the biggest fight in boxing. How much longer or how much more of it do we have to hear from boxers before we start looking at them like the people in that movie, The Secret, on Oprah, wanting for their life to change, but not willing to put the work in, just asking for it. You know what I'm saying? And finally, does a loss for Canelo, does it really affect his legacy? If he loses to Charlo, will that affect Canelo's overall legacy with his career and everything that he's done? You got to look at a guy with over all those fights already that I think his legacy, me personally, this is one few times where I'll give you my opinion. Personally, I think his legacy is already cemented, but it's just something I wanted to ask you guys. Does a loss to Charlo affect it? I'm biased. People going to work. One thing I am grateful for is that I get to do this and not really never have had to go into an office, because I wouldn't do well in an office. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you.